What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. This is going to be a little bit of a different one. We're doing a modern fence install. This is phase one of a larger project where we're going to be redoing this whole back area, but we're waiting for zoning approval for that. So for right now, we're just doing this really cool modern fence. This is a project that you're going to be able to DIY. This isn't super complicated. So I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. Stay tuned.
Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit subscribe.
Let's go. So the first thing that we're going to do here is get all of our holes marked out. We're going to be using wood 4x4 set in concrete. It's going to be a pretty heavy fence, so we want to make sure that everything is dug down below the frost line. We have plenty of concrete around that to keep our posts stable. You want to call for a utility mark out, so we have that. And we do have a gas line that runs right through here. This is an instance where it's a really good thing that we got that utility mark out, because we need to be very careful with a couple of these holes, make sure that we don't hit this gas line, because then we're going to have a lot of trouble on our hands.
We don't want that.
String line is going to be your best friend with this. You have to set one of these up when you're setting posts. It's an easy way to get them in a perfectly straight line. Got my stake here. We've measured out on that side. I'm going to get that post set, and then we'll run a string line, and we have our first run set up ready to go. So we want this string line to be really nice and tight. So you're going to pull all the slack out of it. And I'll show you how we wrap it around here so that we can take it off easily, but it's going to stay nice and tight. So we're pulling it tight. We're going to wrap it around. You can go around twice. And then you take this and we're going to slide it over top of that wrap. We'll do it again. And now, super easy. And then I can just take that off in like 2 seconds. When we're done with it, roll this back up, and we're not wasting any string. All right, so now we're just digging our holes. I marked them out. We're doing posts every 6 feet here. Now to set up this line, coming straight off of the house, we set a pin all the way down there, measured, we were about 1.5 inches away from the foundation, and then pulled the string out and checked it at the corner, made sure we're still 1.5 inches out, so we have a straight line coming off the foundation, intersecting with our other string line. So that's gonna be our corner. And now we just dig the holes, and luckily the ground's pretty soft, so it shouldn't take too long. Then we'll get to setting posts. Like I said, make sure you get a utility mark out, because our gas line cuts right through here. So with these two posts, I'm gonna dig them out with this, just loosen the dirt a little bit at a time. It's worth spending an extra 10 minutes on this hole than possibly hitting a gas line and exploding the whole neighborhood.
We do not want that.
Pat, do we want that? Exactly. We wanna blow it up with this beautiful fence design, but not with natural gas. So we're being extra careful right here. All right, so we've got our first, hold on there, hotshot. All right, we've got all the holes dug. Now we're setting the first post, and we're gonna start with all the corners, and then we'll connect the string line to the post, and we'll set all the intermediate posts. So we just wanna set this so that it's just hitting this string line at our mark. I made a little mark on the string line for our distance from the house, so we just wanna make sure it's level on both sides, just as it's hitting that mark. So we've already got this one set, and then we just put a little bit of dirt in the bottom of the hole, tamp around it. That'll help hold the bottom in place. Then we can fill it up with the concrete. Put it in there real gently at first to make sure you don't move the bottom of the post. So we're doing 2 bags of concrete per hole. It's 160 pounds of concrete. And make sure that your holes are deep enough below the frost line. We went 3 feet here. So we'll get those 2 bags in there around the bottom of the post, and then we'll backfill the hole with the dirt, and then we can tamp that in there. That's gonna keep it nice and plumb while this concrete sets, and we'll be good to go. Pat, come nice and close. Check out, I'm level right there. Now check out the string line. We're just barely touching that. That's when you know it's good. What's up? Now that we have all the posts in, I like to go around, check all of our posts, make sure they're nice and level. I can make tiny little adjustments, but everything's sitting really good. We got the concrete, we got the dirt on top tamped around the hole. So once that concrete sets up, these things will be locked in for justice. Now we're waiting on some of our fencing materials, but we have the post set, everything is good. So we can just run with this when we come back, and that's when we get to the cool design stuff. It's gonna get interesting. Well, did you get that was like a home improvement thing? You know, the neighbor guy? Anyway, okay, we have all of our lumber here finally, so we're back on this fence job. Good thing that we got these posts installed before it froze, because now it's super cold out, the ground's frozen. We would not be able to get these in right now, so come check it out. We're doing a modern fence install here, so it's all horizontal boards, and the design that we have going on here is 6 2x6s, 6 2x4s, and then we'll do 6 2x2s up top. So they're all gapped a 1/2 inch, and that's gonna give us a 6-foot fence. Nice, clean, modern looking fence install here. Pretty simple to do, and we're using the ProWood DuraColor. So you can see this is a regular treated 4x4. It's got that yellow look to it. This has more of a brown look to it. This part goes pretty quick. Let me show you how we're installing it. So we just start by leveling the first board, making sure it's nice and flat and level. And then we just go up from there. We cut some 1/2 inch spacers. So once we have that, easy peasy. We're gonna go back at the end and also add screws to this, but every post is gonna be covered with 1x4 trim, so you won't see any of the fasteners. You can see here, we left these overhanging this post. Why did we do that? Sean, where are you gonna screw the next one to? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a line there. That's why I put the nails right in the middle. We wanna put our nails over to the side so we don't mess that up, because now I'm right in the cut line. We're just running these long. Once we get them all installed, get a chalk line, cut these down, and then we'll start halfway on this post and keep running. This way, we don't have to make a bunch of cuts, we don't have to measure it. We just throw them up here, let them run long, cut them in the air, take these nails out that I just put in, then cut them. Should go pretty quick. Right in the middle. So we're just getting, you know, an approximate cut here. All of this is gonna be covered with trim, so none of these cuts are gonna be exposed. We don't have to be super precise with those. We just wanna cut off the excess to keep us moving. We're putting up the last couple pieces here, and you can see we've transitioned to 2x2s, and we just ripped 2x4s in half. So we have 6 2x6s, 6 2x4s, and 6 2x2s, all spaced a 1/2 inch, so it gives it a nice little dimension there. One thing that we've done here that I always like to do on privacy screens and privacy walls is staggering our layout. So check it out. Come over here. So we started on this side. We set this side 3/4 of an inch lower so that all the boards are offset. So when you look through this gap, you're seeing the back of this board. So it's almost totally solid. Certain angles you can still see through it a little bit, but for the most part, it's nice and solid and really private. This is all gonna be finished with some 1x trim. So as soon as we get these up, we're about ready to put on all of our trim, and that's gonna go over every post location. So all of our screws and everything will be hidden. Whew, Pat, give him a pan. It looks so good. Give him a pan.
Yeehaw!
We've set all of these with ring shank nails. Using a nail gun is gonna make it a lot faster, but I'm gonna go back and put 1 3-inch screw into every board. So now it's nailed and screwed. It's gonna be locked in for justice. Locked in for justice, and once again we're going to be covering all of these post locations where anything is screwed or nailed with some 1x trim, so you won't see any of that. We're getting pretty close. All right, so the last step here, does this look weird?
Yeah.
All right, so the last step in finishing off this fence is we're covering up all of our screws and our nails with a little bit of 1x4 trim. So all I'm doing, getting this set up here. And we just want it to be even with the 4x4 that's behind it. So that looks good there. Now I just check it with a level. Nice little easy way to hide all of our screws. So that's pretty much it for how you build one of these privacy fences, privacy screens. Nice modern look, really simple to do if you follow these very simple instructions. So make sure you hit subscribe, and until next time, this is Premier Outdoor Living.